When I became state superintendent in 2005-2006, our graduation rate was 68%, and last year our high school graduation rate went to nearly 81%. We have made much progress. This is an historic all-time high as far as our graduation rate, and one of the initiatives that I will continue with is to ensure that our graduation rate moves to nearly 100%. And our students who graduate must also be career, college, and citizenship ready. Number one, we must address our reading scores. We know that a graduation rate is cumulative, and it's very important for all of our students to learn how to read well in kindergarten through grade 12. So one of the areas of emphasis is how to address the summer reading loss of our students. Our students who do not come from homes where there are lots of books and adults reading to them lose 2.5 to 3 months of reading progress every single summer when they go home. So one of my initiatives will be to work with partners to address the summer reading loss. Another way to address our getting to nearly 100% graduation rate is to make sure that we have the use of technology as a priority with every school, every teacher, and every student. We know that with the use of technology, we can make education more effective and more efficient. Both governors have indicated that education would be a priority. One gubernatorial candidate is not in favor of vouchers. The other candidate is in favor of vouchers for students who attend private schools. And while I value and respect a parent's right to send children to a private elementary, middle, or high school, I do believe that if we take resources away from the public schools that we have in North Carolina, that it will not be in the best interest of all 1.5 million children that we have in our state. Both candidates talk about the importance of reading. I agree that we need to address reading. Both candidates talk about options for students. I agree that we need to give our students in high school more options through early colleges, career academies, through schools within schools, such as engineering schools, communications, travel and tourism. So both candidates have some aspect of addressing education with which I agree. I believe that President Obama has a better plan for education, and here are the reasons why. He was very instrumental in getting funds called Race to the Top federal dollars. North Carolina was one of 11 states receiving those dollars, and we have been able to make tremendous strides in improving public education through the use of those dollars. Governor Romney has said that class size does not matter in public schools. But we also know that when you see advertisements for private elementary schools and middle schools and high schools, you see as a major calling card is low class size. So I do not agree with Governor Romney's stance that class size doesn't matter. I've been a teacher. I know what it's like to have 35 students in a class, and I know what it's like to have 20 students in the class. And it certainly is much more difficult to give the individual attention that each student deserves when you have 35 students in a class compared to 15 or 20 students in the class. Being a teacher is a tremendous challenge, and it's also a very rewarding job. Having taught, I know what joy comes from seeing students understand and to have that aha moment when they really understand a concept very deeply. First of all, we need to work with people in the General Assembly and people at large to say that we need to value, respect, and compensate our teachers well. I will continue my work with the General Assembly, business people in the state, to uplift the teaching profession. I will also work with the General Assembly to get higher salaries for our teachers who so richly deserve them. And I will also work with teachers across the state to have them uplift the profession. Every teacher should be proud of being a teacher. And teachers have to take pride in their professions, and they have to say, with their heads held high, I am a teacher, and I have a direct influence on the lives of students every single day that I see them in the classroom. The college vote is so important in this election because young people will have to live with the decisions that are going to be made over the next 4 years. And young people, as I travel across North Carolina, recognize the importance of having elected officials that will do the right thing for the middle class, that will do the right thing to move our state and country forward when it comes to providing educational opportunities and employment. The young people in our colleges really must be involved in the political process, because what happens now will determine the future of our state and our nation. North Carolina has had charter school legislation for approximately 10 to 12 years. I see charter schools as one tool in the toolbox of being able to personalize education for every single child. Charter schools must and should be under the direction of the State Board of Education. They must have the same accountability requirements, and access to a charter school should be open to all. The Constitution of North Carolina gives the responsibility for public education to the State Board of Education. And I, as State Superintendent, have the responsibility for carrying out the laws of the General Assembly and the State Board of Education. It is important that charter schools remain a part of the public school family. It would be detrimental to our state and to our students if they were separated from the other public schools in our state.